7, which is unbelievable. Episode 2, which is also sadly unbelievable. Can you believe we're in February and we're only on the second episode? We've been humanizing. So shout out to the super thing that's happening tonight. Not allowed to say the word. They'll shut you down. The superb owl. Yes! The superb owl. It's rocking tonight, and I give them credit. A lot of human commercials tonight. Props. And how can you not love country roads? Even home West Virginia, I'd show you the tattoo. Oh my gosh. I'm not showing.
Really?
No. That's not what I'm doing. But
this is how we know.
no, but I don't have a T-shirt on, and I had a T-shirt for tonight. I have my sporting T-shirt. Look, that's my drinking. It's my Danish drinking T-shirt, and because I don't care who wins tonight. You. That's who I want to win. I want you to win. Season 7, episode 2. Here we are. Paul, what are you doing? I have a pigskin cocktail. So if we're not getting pigskin, we're talking, well, pigs. And we're talking pork bacon. I put it off for years. Bacon-infused bourbon. And we have the original bacon bourbon washed cocktail. Benton's Old Fashioned. What is it? I'm going to tell you all about it. Come on in. Here we go. And by the way, I hope this is working. Blue Monkey Quarantine only business is monkey business and a superb owl.
It seems like
All right, let's go. Well, come on in, folks. We have all this new fancy dancy equipment that we don't even quite know how to use yet. And we're going to try it out. So here we are. Welcome.
It's on. Oh,
Hit,
shit.
Yeah. Hit your camera 1.
Where's camera 1?
Literally the giant number 1.
Hi, everybody. I think we're good.
I hope so.
Program. That's right.
Yeah, should be.
All right.
Yeah, you shouldn't be on there. Here, I can help you one if you want to feel better.
Nope, I'm good.
Is that better?
That makes me so much better.
Folks, here we are, season 7. 7? You'd think we'd been out drinking all day watching a superb owl. 7?
Yes, 777.
That's lucky when you say 7 3 times. So is it up on everything?
I'm working on it, baby.
Producer. She's been out all day.
She's not been out all day. Oh, no, I think we are actually on that camera.
What do you mean?
Oh, I am seeing camera 1. I'm not seeing anything on.
Uh-oh, hold on. We'll fix this.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on Twitch, so.
No?
Yeah.
Are we all black? Hold on, let me think. On.
Yeah, we are. So, what's camera 2?
Sorry, I have to do this now.
Hi, everybody, again. Hey, look, cat for interest.
Wait, okay. Why?
Here, you get
Jump
in
in, yeah. All right, folks, a lot of new equipment. We have to figure out how to use it all. But why is that there? ECam. That's in. Oh, wait, hold on. I know why. Hold. Not this. This.
That seems important.
No, I don't know. Hold on. That. Oh, so then the other camera didn't work either. That one. Hold.
This is the incredible halftime show.
You're welcome, everybody.
Watching Paul play with equipment is now.
Pyrotechnics.
Sit. Ooh, cat. All right. So you know it didn't work? It hit camera 3. Camera 3 should work now. Try to 3. Why is it not 3 working? Well, it doesn't matter. Put it on 1. Here we go. Folks, we're still here. It's season 7, episode 2. Hopefully they heard us. Well, we could hear us, right?
Yes.
I don't know. We'll pull it up. Now you can see. Are we on?
Yeah.
No, your stuff.
Yes, I can see us. Okay.
All right, folks. Here we are. Season 7, episode 2. It's a halftime show. We've had a minor
This is a wardrobe malfunction.
wardrobe malfunction.
For those that were around for that time.
Yeah, if you're that old. Anyway, here we are. So what are we doing tonight? All right, let me tell you about it. It's a super day, and in honor of this pigskin classic, we need a pigskin cocktail. Bacon. That's our cocktail tonight. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about fat washing. I'm talking about fat washing, which sounds horrible, which sounds like something I had to do when I was just 20 pounds heavier. I had a lot of self-fat washing. I don't want to talk about it. No, that's not what fat washing is. Fat washing, again, I said 2007, but actually we got to go back to 1750. Can we go back to 1750, Shelby?
We can.
Because that's how fat washing started.
Do I have like cues for that?
No, nothing until you gotta wait. We're going to 1750. We're going to Grosset, France. Grosset? Grosset. Grsse. Grosset? She's taking French right now, folks. Grosset, France. And so to this day, still home of some of the finest perfume manufacturing in the world. And back in 1750, they started enfleurage. So enfleurage is a technique, and it is a technique for perfuming where basically you have a sheet of glass. This is glass. You put a flower on it, and then what you would do, you would then put oil over the flower and another sheet of glass, and you would press it. Are you with me so far, Shelby?
I am.
So we are pressing the flour in oil, and you would let this sit for like overnight. I don't know. I don't know the time frame. Could have been years, probably overnight. And then when you would remove it, then you would take that oil, and the oil through chemistry would have absorbed the fragrance of the flour. Then you would use alcohol, and you would wash the oil with alcohol, and then you would end up with the essence of the fragrance now trapped in alcohol. And as the French would say, there you go. They would say voila, right? So I really worked on that joke. And
They
say
say voila.
voila.
Well, you were correct.
They would say yes. Oui.
Oui. Voila. C'est magnifique.
C'est magnifique. Anyway, so that is enfleurage. If you want to look up more, there was hot enfleurage, there's cold enfleurage. And the reason this was a big deal is because flowers, you couldn't just like boil them and get the fragrance out because it would destroy them. You couldn't heat them up, it would destroy them. So this was a whole system. Fast forward like into like 1990s, 2000. Not a bar, a restaurant in New York called WD-50, which is just a fun name of a place, right? And there was a chef there. And this chef, he was basically kind of doing a similar thing. He was putting, ready for this, peanut butter onto a cooking sheet. And then he was pouring alcohol over it. And then he would let it sit overnight. And then he'd pour the alcohol off. And he was creating an alcohol peanut butter infused whatever. Now, he is not credited with fat washing for what we know today. No, you got to go a little bit further, and you got to go to 2007. But our guy in 2007 was Don Lee. Don Lee knew the WD-50 guy because he ate there. So in 2007, Don Lee, who started and was the opening bartender at PDT, Please Don't Tell, it was a speakeasy in New York. He,
I thought you were saying from PYT.
very true, which is also a wardrobe malfunction, right? Anyway, so Don Lee, he decides he's going to try this. But how he got there is kind of another little fun story. So he's eating at this restaurant, and he loves this one dish. And there is, in this dish, is Benton's bacon bits. Not bacon bits, not like crumbled up, like chunks of cured fried bacon inside this pasta dish. And he loves it. So he talks to the chef. He said, "What do you do with all that bacon grease?" He's like, "Oh my God, we just throw it away. We have too much." He says, "Can I have some?" And the chef's like, "Yeah, you can have some." Now, Don Lee at this point is not thinking of creating bourbon. He's actually going to go cook with it. He wants to make something with it because it's just freaking delicious. But then he gets the aha moment and says, "Wait a second. What if I could put this and fat wash it into a bourbon?" And that's what he does. So again, the story continues. So now he's going to try this process. He ends up using Four Roses bourbon. So if you ever see the original recipe, it's Four Roses, but that is actually not what he intended to do. He intended to use Dickel. Yeah, I said Dickel. And I'm looking over here because I think I have a bottle of Dickel. It's just fun to say. Shelby, where's my Dickel? Again,
You don't know where
funny.
it is.
If I can't find my own Dickel. Anyway, he wants to use Dickel because Dickel is from Tennessee. So he's trying to, Benton's, by the way, is a kind of a pretty famous cured smoked bacon, also from Tennessee. So he has this whole idea. The problem is he can't get the Dickel. And so he just can't get the Dickel. And so he ends up going with Four Roses, and that's kind of where we end up. But he plays with the recipe. I'll talk about that in a second because, you know, it's this balance of how much bacon grease, how much bourbon, and ultimately he ends up creating what we now know is really one of the first fat-washed bourbons that is kind of put out there to the consumer. So what is fat-washed bourbon or fat-washed alcohol, and how do you make it? Truth, I've been afraid to do this cocktail for quite a while because I've always been afraid of fat washing anything because, well, it just sounds horrible, first of all. And second of all, I thought it was very complicated. I thought it would be time consuming. I thought it would be hard. Nay. Or as the French say, no. It's actually quite simple. Here's how you do it. So first of all, you get yourself some bourbon. No, you don't start with the bourbon. You get yourself any fat, bacon in this case. So you fry your bacon, and you end up with bacon grease. So you take the bacon, and then you eat it, as we did Saturday morning with French toast. You don't have to do it just like that. But then you take this bacon grease, you let it get to about room temperature. You don't want it to solidify. All you do is you take bacon grease, add it to bourbon. We did not use Four Roses. I used a local New Riff bourbon. That's what I went with. We love New Riff. And basically, you pour it in, you mix it up, and you let it sit for a couple hours. It'll start to coagulate. But here's the kicker. Then, at that point, you put it in the freezer. And you put it in the freezer, and this is the most important part because by freezing it, it actually allows all of the fats to solidify, but it allows the alcohol surface area to pull out the flavors. Then The next day, you could wait longer, but about a day later, you then just pour off through cheesecloth the bourbon. You filter it. You end up with this, and then you throw away the bacon grease. Paul, can I keep the bacon grease? Yeah, keep it. I don't care. I would think a butter would be better because not many people are cooking today with bacon grease, but it would be bourbon kind of infused bacon grease. But really, the bourbon has pulled out all the flavor now of the bacon. And then that's it. Now, I will tell you this there is a balance of the recipe. Um, the original recipe, and I looked at a lot of these in 8 minutes, but the original recipe, get this, one bottle, 750 mils of bourbon, and 1 3/4 ounces of bacon fat. That's it. Not much. And if you read about Don Lee, he talks about how they would kind of put too much in, and it would become so fatty, and it would be too smoky, and it was like a smoke bomb. So it's really a balance. I'll talk about it at the end here, but that's it. That's all you need. Then what did he do with it? He created on the opening of PBT what has become one of the most classic fat washed cocktails, and that is Benton's Old Fashioned. For God's sakes, Paul, is there a cocktail tonight? Yes, I promise you there is. And I need my good little thing here, and I'm grabbing it. We are going to make Benton's Old Fashioned. Oh, I like that on the bottom. See the monkey on the bottom? All right, here we go. Oh, wait, here, yeah, here, I can do it. Look. Hit two. Yeah. Now hit the other one. No. Yep. Nope. Hit on. Yep. Boom. Now it's in the corner. You did it. You've done it. Program window. You can't see behind the scenes here, folks, but we have so much technology, it's crazy. Would you agree? Turn the microphone off on 3. Camera 3. Off. Yep. Thank you. I just realized we probably double. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying to everybody. But all right. So we're making an old fashioned. By the way, can I tell you a pet peeve? Because I was just somewhere. Huh? Right here. Boop, 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 boop. See the boop? Yeah, it's working. So can I tell you a pet peeve is when you start an old fashioned and somebody throws a chunk of orange and a cherry in it and starts grinding away. I'm out. Shelby, you know what we may need from. You know what I need you to get? I need the maple syrup from the fridge. All right. You on it? All right. All right. So all it is a little bit of ice, and then we're going to come in with 2 ounces of our fat washed bourbon per. So there's 2 for me, and then of course 1 for Shelby. And then while she is gone, I've realized what we need to do is we need to taste this. I'm very curious about how well. So we'll set that right there, and when she gets back, we'll do it. And then what you need is out of the corner. You need tree juice. So when Don Lee, created this, normally you would do a sugar and then you do bitters. He went with instead a little bit of maple syrup, and not much, by the way. He went with a 1/4 ounce. Hold on. Trying to read my spoons. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do 1/2 ounce total, right? thought this might be easier than mine. Now, if you read his recipe, it'll say you need a Class B maple syrup, which sounds like it's a sad second citizen of a syrup. And you might be like, oh, that doesn't seem right. Like, wouldn't I use a really good syrup? So a Class B syrup is actually a really good syrup. It actually refers to the color. So a Class A is going to be a lighter, clearer amber, and then Class B is when you get a little more of this dark kind of, right? Did that work?
Yeah.
All right,
It's
done.
just the camera, the small camera.
So I poured a little bit of this bacon separate while you were gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
The burns out, but there's definitely a smoky.
There is. I can taste the bacon.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. You can and smell it. Here, I'm gonna give it back.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do this all night. You can smell that little smokiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily like a hard hit of bacon, but it's a smoky flavor.
Yeah. No, it's on the back. It's on the back of the palate. It does
Yeah.
taste like bacon.
And then we're gonna come in. So 1/4 ounce of syrup, 2 dashes of aromatic Angostura Bitters. So we have that, and then all you're gonna do is then turn around and which stir do you like, Shelby? Ooh, how about the?
There we go.
All right. And we're going to give it a good stir. Now that's a pure syrup, even though it's Class B. Weak. But we're stirring a little extra because that syrup, because it's pure, it's going to take a little bit to dissolve. And then there you go. Now we're going to come in with our glasses. You like that, don't you?
You know I do.
Little dickle and a couple of big balls. We're going to absolutely be cut off on this now. And then there it is. This, my friends, is a classic Benton's Old Fashioned. Almost. We're not quite done yet, Shelby. You know what we're missing, right?
Yep.
Oh, here, this will work. Oh, that's a good one. All right. We're going to give that a little. Do you see it? All right. Now, in the original, this was not in there, but for Shelby, I have to. Shelby does not do an old fashioned without a sword skewer of a Luxardo. Gotta have her Luxardo. So you get that, and I will never do a cocktail without a little emergency. Emergency! Oddly enough, part of the enfleurage process, emergency actually captures that orange fragrance through an enfleurage process. I don't know that that's true at all, but we're going to just do a little onto the ice. Oh, look at that. Do you see that? Yeah, of our superb owl show. And there it is, folks. Benton's Old Fashioned with some fat washed bourbon with bacon. Oh, it smells amazing. Oh, Jolly. Join.
Paul, I will.
Superb owl.
To the superb owl. Thanks, Paul.
Boom. Look at this.
That's very pretty, Paul.
There it is. Wife, is that better?
I think it's so much
All right. There it is. Give it a try.
Mm,
Oh,
delicious.
that's a great old fashioned.
It is.
So, last thing I will tell you, one of the reasons freezing is so important is when you freeze, it actually pulls, I know, pulls all of the fats out. And if you don't, if you ever go and have a fat washed cocktail, if it is a bit greasy, it's probably because they didn't freeze it. Because if you don't freeze it, it doesn't pull out all the fats. Because you can let it sit at room temperature and you'll get 90%, but then when you go to mix it, it's going to have that little bit of a greasy feel to it. You don't want that. So here's the fun thing about fat washed cocktails. You can do any fat. I'm talking butters. So we already have a request from this one. We're going to do a brown butter uh, bourbon, right? You can do, ready for this? You can do, so any oil. So we're also talking about doing an olive oil, fat washed vodka. You can do cheese. So you could do a blue cheese because it's got enough fat in it. Do peanut butter. So that's a classic. So if you ever want to know how peanut butter whiskey's made, that's how they do it. They melt down that peanut butter and then they basically fat wash it into the whiskey. Um, you can do olives. You can do avocados. I'll stop. Here's the other thing. You can do any spirit. We talk a lot about this, but we've already talked about doing, like, imagine this, a rosemary infused butter, melt that down, and then put that inside of a gin. Anyway, we're drinking. So, typical ratio, you want to consider the oil. So, the stronger the oil, the less you need. Again, bacon is like 1 and 3/4 ounces for a bottle. The normal ratio to start off though is about 1 to 4. So if you're doing like a cup of an alcohol,
Yeah,
a
Marmor's
quarter cup.
Scotty butter.
Oh,
Butter.
yes, exactly. Oh, that's what he did, wasn't it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Um, Now, last thing from PBT. As much as they have created in 2007 what we now know as fat washed cocktails and basically started this trend. So they were definitely a cocktail bar early on, right? This is at the they also, we have to give them credit for, you ready for this?
Oh, the specialty ice.
90 cents a cube is what they said it cost them to do. They were one of the first bars. It was a novelty up at that time to have like this big chunk of ice. They actually really took off with it. The Benton's Old Fashioned started off with one large cube and it never looked back. And they are credited with being the creators of the large cube cocktail.
And now we have refrigerators open.
Folks, there it is. There's your quarantine Benton's Old Fashioned fat washing bourbon for many years to come now. I'm excited about this. All right. Should we go back to this superb owl meeting of birds and Indians?
Let's go watch the battle.
The battle has begun. Folks, I hope everybody's had a wonderful time. Thanks for coming back if you're out there. And if you're not, come back and visit. Sign up, follow us. We will continue to do this. We have a couple of Sundays where we're home. If any requests or anything, let us know. And you know what? By the next show, I think we'll know how to use the equipment.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Because I still can't get this to work.
Thanks. Thanks, Trisha. She said it's much more enjoyable than the halftime show.
Yay! We beat them. We did it. All right. Folks, we love you. We're out. We'll see you soon. Have a great week. Enjoy your fat washed bacon bourbon. Oh, bourbon. Take me home. All right. Love you guys. We're out.